The auditorium was packed, the energy palpable as people from all walks of life eagerly awaited Elon Musk's keynote address. The event, titled Shaping the Future of Humanity, had drawn scientists, policymakers, activists, and visionaries from across the globe. Speculation about what Musk would announce had reached a fever pitch. Would it be a breakthrough in AI? A revolutionary energy solution? A bold new step in space exploration? As the lights dimmed and the massive screen behind the stage lit up with a swirling image of Earth, Musk walked out to a standing ovation. Dressed in his signature casual style, black t-shirt and blazer, he carried no notes, no elaborate gadgets. He simply stood at the center of the stage, letting the applause fade before speaking. "Good evening," he began, his tone calm yet commanding. "We're here tonight because the world faces unprecedented challenges. Climate change, inequality, resource depletion, the list goes on. These are problems that require urgent solutions. But the solution I'm going to share with you today, well, it might not be what you're expecting." The audience leaned forward, their curiosity piqued. Musk continued, his gaze sweeping the room. "We've made incredible progress in renewable energy, space exploration, and artificial intelligence. These are all critical pieces of the puzzle. But there's one thing, one human thing, that has the power to save the world more than any technology ever could." He paused, letting the suspense build. "And that one thing," he said, his voice steady, "is connection." The room fell silent, the weight of his words sinking in. "Connection?" a reporter in the front row whispered, scribbling furiously. Musk picked up on the skepticism in the room and smiled faintly. "Let me explain," he said. "We live in a world that's more connected digitally than ever before, yet we've never been more divided. Polarization, isolation, and a lack of understanding between people are at the root of so many of our problems. If we can't come together, if we can't learn to collaborate and truly empathize with one another, then no amount of technology will save us." He took a step closer to the edge of the stage, his tone intensifying. "What I'm talking about is a global network of human connection. A system that fosters understanding, trust, and cooperation between people, across cultures, borders, and ideologies. It's not just about solving problems, it's about rebuilding the very fabric of our society." The audience listened intently, some nodding, others still trying to grasp the scope of what he was proposing. Musk began outlining his vision, the screen behind him lighting up with visuals. "Imagine a platform," he said, "that combines the best of AI, neuroscience, and communication technology to bridge the gaps between us. A space where language barriers disappear, where cultural misunderstandings are clarified, and where collaboration becomes second nature." He described an ambitious initiative, the Global Empathy Network. Using neural interfaces and advanced algorithms, the platform would allow people to share experiences and perspectives in ways never before possible. "It's not about just talking to each other," Musk explained. "It's about truly feeling what the other person feels, walking in their shoes, even if just for a moment." The crowd murmured in amazement. The idea was bold, almost utopian. But this was Elon Musk, and if anyone could turn a wild idea into reality, it was him. Musk shared a demonstration. The screen displayed two individuals, a farmer from India and a tech worker from Silicon Valley, interacting through the prototype. As they spoke, their neural interfaces translated not only their words but also their emotions. The farmer explained the challenges of water scarcity, while the tech worker shared his struggles with burnout. As the system bridged their vastly different worlds, a sense of mutual understanding blossomed between them. "This is just the beginning," Musk said. "Empathy isn't just a nice idea, it's a practical solution. It drives collaboration, reduces conflict, and fosters innovation. If we can feel each other's pain, share each other's hopes, and work together toward common goals, we can solve anything." The questions came fast during the Q&A session. "Isn't this invasive?" one journalist asked. "How do you protect privacy?" Musk nodded. It's a valid concern. That's why this system is opt-in, fully encrypted, and designed with transparency. No one's experience is shared without their consent. The goal isn't to invade privacy, it's to enhance understanding. A young activist stood up next. How will this help communities that are already disconnected from technology? Musk's response was immediate. The first phase of this initiative will focus on bringing connectivity to underserved areas. Starlink, our satellite internet project, is already laying the groundwork. Everyone, everywhere, should have access, not just to the platform but to the opportunities it creates. As the event ended, the audience rose to their feet, applauding not just Musk's vision but the hope it represented. For once, the focus wasn't on gadgets or profits, it was on humanity. Walking off stage, Musk felt a rare sense of vulnerability. He knew the idea would face criticism and doubt. But he also knew it was necessary. Technology could only take us so far, the rest depended on us. And as the world began to discuss and debate his proposal, Musk's parting words resonated. The one thing that will save the world isn't a machine or a rocket, it's us. Together. The days following Elon Musk's announcement of the Global Empathy Network were filled with fervent debate. Social media buzzed with hashtags like #EmpathyRevolution and #SaveTheWorld, while news outlets dissected every detail of Musk's proposal. Some hailed it as a visionary leap toward global unity, while others dismissed it as impractical or even dangerous. Musk, unfazed by the criticism, convened his top engineers, neuroscientists, and sociologists at Tesla's headquarters. The goal was clear: turn the concept of the Global Empathy Network into a functional prototype within 6 months. One of the key challenges was trust. The neural interface technology required to share experiences had to be safe, non-invasive, and universally accessible. Musk's team, led by Dr. Lila Tran, a renowned neuroscientist, developed a wearable device called ConnectLink. It was a sleek, lightweight headset that used advanced sensors to read emotional and cognitive signals, translating them into data that could be shared in real time. This isn't about controlling thoughts, Dr. Tran emphasized during a press briefing. It's about understanding them. ConnectLink allows people to experience another person's perspective without losing their own sense of self. The first live demonstration took place at a United Nations summit. Representatives from conflicting nations agreed to participate, curious but skeptical. Musk himself introduced the session, explaining how ConnectLink worked and its potential to defuse tensions by fostering empathy. The room held its breath as 2 delegates, one from a drought-stricken region in Africa, the other from an industrialized nation criticized for its environmental policies, put on the devices. But the true test came during a crisis. A severe drought struck a region heavily reliant on agriculture, triggering tensions between neighboring countries over water rights. Negotiations had stalled, and the risk of armed conflict loomed large. Musk, along with his team, proposed using ConnectLink as part of the peace talks. Initially, the leaders were reluctant. How can a device solve what diplomacy cannot? One delegate scoffed. It's not the device, Musk replied. It's what the device enables, understanding. Reluctantly, the leaders agreed. They donned the ConnectLink headsets, and over the course of several hours, something extraordinary happened. They began to see the world through each other's eyes, the shared desperation of farmers, the fear of communities displaced by conflict, the anger of citizens who felt unheard. By the end of the session, they had reached a historic agreement, a shared water management plan designed to prioritize both environmental sustainability and human need. When asked about the breakthrough during a press conference, Musk simply said, "Empathy won the day." Years later, the Global Empathy Network became as integral to society as the Internet itself. It was used in schools, workplaces, and governments, fostering a new era of understanding and cooperation. Skeptics remained, but the world saw measurable improvements in global relations, mental health, and social cohesion. In a rare interview reflecting on the journey, Musk was asked what had driven him to pursue such an unconventional solution. He smiled faintly, his gaze distant. Because technology alone can't save us. It's only a tool. What saves us is our ability to connect, to understand, and to care for one another. Empathy isn't just a feeling, it's a force. And it's the one thing that can change everything. And as humanity moved forward, the lesson Musk had championed became clear: the future wasn't just about innovation, it was about connection, the invisible thread that bound us all. As the global empathy network matured into a foundational part of modern society, its impact rippled across every aspect of human life. Conflicts between nations diminished as leaders prioritized understanding over dominance. Communities once divided by race, religion, or politics began to heal as individuals experienced life through the perspectives of those they had once distrusted. Even businesses adopted the technology, using empathy-driven insights to create more inclusive products and services. But the journey was far from over. One evening, Musk stood in the sprawling garden of his home, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. The stars glittered above, a constant reminder of his first love, space exploration. His work with the Global Empathy Network had dominated the last decade, and its success had redefined his legacy. Yet, he felt a quiet tension, a question he couldn't shake: was empathy enough to save the world? His thoughts were interrupted by a call from Dr. Lila Tran, the neuroscientist who had been instrumental in developing ConnectLink. "Elon," Lila began, her voice tinged with excitement, "you need to see this. It's about the network, it's evolving." Musk's curiosity was piqued. "Evolving? What do you mean?" "I'll explain when you get here," she said. "But this could change everything." The next morning, Musk arrived at the Neural Tech Research Lab, where Lila and her team had been monitoring the network's activity. On the largest screen in the control room was a real-time map of the network, its nodes represented by glowing points of light. As Musk stepped closer, he noticed something unusual: the nodes weren't static. They were moving, converging, and forming patterns. "This is new," Lila explained. "As more people use the network, it's not just connecting them, it's creating collective insights. Patterns of thought, emotion, and understanding are emerging across entire populations." Musk studied the screen, his mind racing. "You're saying the network is becoming self-aware?" "Not in the sense of artificial intelligence," Lila clarified. "It's not thinking. But it's revealing something profound, a collective consciousness. Humanity's shared experiences and emotions are creating a kind of global intuition." Musk nodded slowly, his gaze fixed on the glowing patterns. "If we can harness this, it could redefine how we solve global problems. Imagine decisions informed not just by data, but by the collective wisdom of billions." The revelation of the network's evolving capabilities sparked a new chapter in its development. Musk and his team launched Project Horizon, an initiative aimed at leveraging the network's collective insights to address humanity's greatest challenges. Climate change, poverty, pandemics, all became the focus of unprecedented global collaboration. One of the first breakthroughs came when a group of scientists, farmers, and activists used the network to solve a water crisis in sub-Saharan Africa. By pooling their perspectives and experiences, they developed a sustainable irrigation system that restored arid lands and revitalized entire communities. As successes like this mounted, skepticism gave way to awe. The network wasn't just fostering empathy, it was becoming a force for global innovation. Yet, as with all progress, there were challenges. Some governments sought to control the network, seeing it as a tool to manipulate public opinion. Activists fought back, insisting that the network remain decentralized and governed by an independent council. Musk, addressing these concerns during a global summit, made his position clear: the network belongs to humanity, not to any one nation, corporation, or individual. Its power lies in its openness, in its ability to reflect the best of us without being corrupted by the worst. His words resonated, and a new global charter was established to protect the network's integrity. Years later, Musk stood before a crowd in what had become known as the Empathy Forum, an annual gathering of leaders, innovators, and citizens dedicated to advancing the network's mission. By now, humanity had made strides that once seemed impossible. Carbon emissions had plummeted, wars were rare and brief, and poverty was at its lowest level in recorded history. As Musk addressed the crowd, his voice carried both humility and hope. "We started this journey believing that technology could save us," he said. "But what we've learned is that technology is only as good as the people who use it. The network didn't just connect us, it reminded us of our shared humanity. It taught us that the solutions to our greatest challenges aren't found in machines or algorithms, they're found in each other." The audience erupted into applause, but Musk's gaze was distant, his mind already turning to the future. After the event, as he walked through the quiet streets of Horizon City, Musk reflected on the journey that had brought humanity to this point. He had spent his life chasing the stars, but the most profound discovery had been right here on Earth, the untapped potential of human connection. Looking up at the sky, Musk smiled faintly. The stars still called to him, but he knew now that the most important frontier wasn't out there, it was within us. And for the first time in his relentless pursuit of progress, he felt a deep sense of peace. Humanity had found its path forward, guided not by technology alone, but by the one thing that had always been its greatest strength, empathy. As humanity continued to thrive under the influence of the global empathy network, a sense of optimism spread worldwide. However, Elon Musk and his team knew that the work was far from over. While the network had brought unprecedented cooperation and innovation, it also revealed deeper, systemic challenges that required bold, new approaches. One of these challenges emerged during a global meeting of the Empathy Forum. Delegates from small island nations raised an urgent concern. Despite the strides humanity had made, rising sea levels threatened to submerge their homelands. They pleaded for help, their voices cracking with desperation. "We've connected as a planet," said one delegate. "But if we lose our homes, what good is connection? We need solutions, now." Musk listened intently, his mind already racing. After the session, he called a private meeting with his top engineers and environmental experts. "The network has brought us closer," Musk said, pacing the room. "But it's not enough to just understand the problem, we need to push the boundaries of what's possible. We need to think beyond adaptation. We need restoration." The team began brainstorming solutions, from advanced climate modeling to large-scale geoengineering projects. One idea stood out: creating floating habitats, self-sustaining cities designed to float on water. These habitats wouldn't just be shelters. They would be thriving ecosystems capable of producing their own energy, food, and clean water. The announcement of Project Atlantis, named after the mythical lost city, sent shockwaves across the world. The initiative aimed to build the first fully functional floating city within 5 years, using cutting-edge technology and sustainable practices. Critics were quick to voice their doubts. "It's too ambitious," one prominent environmentalist said. "We should focus on preserving land, not retreating to the sea." But Musk, as always, remained steadfast. "This isn't about retreating," he said during a press conference. "It's about creating options. The floating habitats will serve as a blueprint for resilience, a way to adapt while continuing the fight to restore balance on land." Construction began off the coast of a Pacific island nation already grappling with rising waters. Musk worked closely with local leaders to ensure the project respected their culture and traditions. The floating habitat, named Haven 1, was designed with circular platforms interconnected by walkways, each platform serving a specific purpose: housing, agriculture, education, and recreation. Engineers employed breakthrough materials that were both durable and environmentally friendly. Solar panels covered the roofs, tidal generators harnessed energy from the waves, and vertical farms provided fresh produce. Musk's team even incorporated AI-driven systems to monitor and maintain the habitat's delicate balance. Sarah, now a key advisor in Musk's global initiatives, played a pivotal role in ensuring the project prioritized human needs. "This isn't just about technology," she said. "It's about creating a place where people can live, thrive, and feel at home." The unveiling of Haven 1 was broadcast globally. Delegates from the island nations were the first to set foot on the habitat, their awe evident as they explored the floating city. Children ran through the lush gardens, families marveled at their new homes, and community leaders expressed gratitude for the opportunity to preserve their way of life. "This isn't just a city," one delegate said during the opening ceremony. "It's hope. Hope that we can adapt without losing who we are." Musk, speaking at the event, emphasized the broader implications. "This is just the beginning," he said. "Haven 1 shows what's possible when we combine human ingenuity with compassion. But the ultimate goal is not to build more floating cities, it's to restore our planet so that no one has to leave their home unless they choose to." As Haven 1 became a thriving community, it inspired similar projects worldwide. Coastal cities adopted floating technology to expand living spaces, while inland communities used the lessons from Haven 1 to improve sustainability. Meanwhile, Musk continued to push for larger-scale restoration efforts, from reforesting deserts to developing technologies capable of reversing ocean acidification. The network played a critical role, enabling global collaboration on these ambitious projects. Years later, at the 20th anniversary of the Empathy Forum, Musk stood before a diverse audience representing every corner of the globe. Behind him, images of Haven 1 and other restored ecosystems rotated on a massive screen. "When we started this journey," he began, "it was hard to imagine a world where empathy could drive innovation, where connection could overcome division. But here we are. We've shown that the impossible is possible, not through technology alone, but through the shared belief that humanity is worth saving." He paused, his voice softening. "And as we look to the future, let us remember that our greatest strength has never been our tools or inventions. It's been our ability to care for one another, to stand together in the face of uncertainty, and to dream of a better world." The crowd erupted into applause, but Musk's gaze remained thoughtful. There was still so much to do, so much to protect. Yet, for the first time, he felt confident that humanity had the tools, and the heart, to succeed. As the event ended and the stars emerged over the venue, Musk looked up, the constellations reflecting in his eyes. The future was still unwritten, but one thing was certain: with connection, innovation, and compassion, humanity was ready to face whatever lay ahead. The success of Haven 1 and its global counterparts marked a turning point in humanity's fight against existential challenges. Floating cities became symbols of resilience and hope, blending technology with nature in ways that seemed almost utopian. Yet, even as the world adapted to these advancements, deeper, systemic challenges persisted. Elon Musk, as always, was not content with the status quo. One morning, Musk called an emergency meeting with his top advisors. The agenda was ominously titled, "The Last Frontier." Sarah, Jacob, and Dr. Lila Tran were among those in attendance, each speculating on what the topic could be. Musk entered the room, his expression serious but determined. "We've made incredible strides," he began, pacing the room. "We've restored land, built habitats on water, and even started reversing some of the damage we've done to our planet. But we've overlooked something critical: our resources are finite. If we want humanity to thrive for centuries, not just decades, we need to go further. We need to go underground." The room fell silent. "Underground?" Sarah finally asked, her brow furrowed. Musk nodded. "Yes. Beneath our feet lies a vast, untapped world. Subterranean living isn't just a science fiction concept, it's a viable solution for overpopulation, resource scarcity, and even climate adaptation. Imagine cities powered by geothermal energy, shielded from surface disasters, and designed to work in harmony with the planet." The idea was bold, even by Musk's standards. He proposed Project Gaia, a subterranean megacity that would extend miles beneath the Earth's surface. Unlike the floating habitats, Gaia would be a self-contained ecosystem, capable of sustaining millions of people while preserving the natural world above. Critics were quick to label the idea as impractical, dangerous, and even dystopian. Are we really talking about sending humanity underground? One journalist quipped during a press briefing. Isn't that admitting defeat? Musk's response was measured. This isn't about giving up on the surface, it's about creating options. The more adaptable we are, the better chance we have of thriving as a species. Gaia isn't a retreat, it's an expansion. Construction on Project Gaia began in an uninhabited region known for its stable geology. Using advanced